Okay, hello biology, this is Mr. B here, and we are continuing on with our chapter about cells. And we mentioned last time we had two types of cells, prokaryotic, which were the more simpler cells, versus eukaryotic, which were the more advanced cells. So today we're going to look at the beginning parts of the eukaryotic cell structure. This is going to probably take a while because there is a lot that goes into being a eukaryotic cell. So to get started, structures within a eukaryotic cell that perform important cellular functions are known as organelles. I introduced this word last time, so this is just a term for the parts of the eukaryotic cell that kind of make it work, that make it go. We have a stomach, we have a heart, we have a liver, we have kidneys. Those are our organs inside a human body. An organelle in a cell is going to be things like are going to be things like the ribosomes, the nucleus, the endoplasmic reticulum, the Golgi body, things like that. But we're going to get into all of those in more detail. So, cell biologists divide the eukaryotic cell into two major parts, the nucleus and the cytoplasm. And the cytoplasm is the portion of the cell just outside the nucleus. It's almost like a jelly-like filling, I guess is how I would describe it. I think you guys have probably heard that term before. So, we're going to take a look solely today at just the things that are found inside the nucleus. So to start off, what is the function of the nucleus is going to be our first question. I think a lot of you may know the answer to that question already. The nucleus is the control center of the cell. See, that's in bold there. Control center is important. That would just maybe remember it's the brain of the cell would be a good way. And the nucleus contains nearly all the cell's DNA, and with it the coded instructions for making proteins and other important molecules. So this really is one of the most important things. This is what tells, I guess it just tells all the other things what to do. It's the control center. It's the brain. Without the nucleus, the cell could not function. It would not survive. Nothing would work properly. So just keep that in mind. It's the control center of the cell. So here is kind of what the nucleus looks like. Again, we have those electron microscopes where you can get big views of things. Obviously, it's not going to be those colors. Those are just colors that the artist made or added in to kind of, I don't know, make it stick out, give it its own little flair. But not all cells are purple and blue on the inside. Keep that in mind. So, looking at some more of those in specific things, the nucleus is surrounded by a nuclear envelope. Another thing would be a nuclear membrane, which is composed of two membranes. So the outer layer of the nucleus, you can either call it the nuclear envelope or the nuclear membrane. And within the envelope, it is dotted with nuclear pores, which allow material to move in and out of the nucleus. So this being the control center, sometimes things are going to have to come in, sometimes things are going to have to go out. Those holes, as you can see all through here, are the nuclear pores. So a pore is letting things in and out. The envelope is what's surrounding it. So keep those two. Those are two, just all part of the nucleus. So within the nucleus, we have this granular material in the nucleus, and it's known as chromatin. And chromatin consists of DNA bound to protein. So chromatin is just this big, thick mass. And we're going to talk more here in the next slide about what happened when chromatin, when it comes unbound, I guess. So when the DNA comes away from that protein, we're going to have something that's called chromosomes. So the chromatin is going to turn into chromosomes when the cell is ready to divide. And if you remember, the chromosomes contain the genetic information that is passed from one generation of cells to the next. So we've already talked about what 4 different things we have so far just in the nucleus. So we have chromatin, we have nuclear envelope, we have nuclear pores, and then we have chromosomes. So again, we'll try to keep all this straight. That's why we're going to take it one thing at a time here. And then the next structure is that most nuclei also contain a nucleolus, and the nucleolus is where the assembly of ribosomes begins. So that purple structure I said, remember, it's not really purple, probably because, again, that's just an artist adding colors to make things stand out. So the function of this is to assemble ribosomes. So nucleolus, so let's recap here. We have the nucleolus, we have chromosomes, we have chromatin, we have a nuclear envelope, and we have nuclear pores. All of those are part of just the nucleus. So we might actually take a little step out of the nucleus now to look at the ribosomes, considering that's what the function of the nucleolus is to make ribosomes. So we're going to discuss what ribosomes are. What is the function of the ribosomes? So one of the most important jobs carried out in the cell is making proteins. Proteins are assembled on ribosomes. So the function of ribosomes is to make proteins. Keep that in mind. Function of ribosomes, making proteins. It's in there, it's bolded. Proteins are assembled on ribosomes, bolded and italics there to show that's important. And then ribosomes are small particles of RNA and protein found throughout the cytoplasm. So these are going to be kind of floating around everywhere in the cell. And remember that their source is from the nucleolus. The nucleolus produces ribosomes. The ribosomes produce protein. So that is it for today. We will continue with more organelles in our next video.